hope you're hearing me loud and clear. Just do a sound check and we'll get into our, gosh, what night is it? Tuesday night chat on the topic of the same blooming topic, but I want to take a little bit more of a relaxed approach today. We've talked a lot about the numbers, we did the number crunching, but just phone me up and tell me what you're feeling at the moment, what your feelings are and how you're going to be taking care of the vulnerable. I've got a caller already anyway, so who's this on line one?
Hello buddy, this is Dave.
Hello
here.
Dave, thank you for calling.
Hey, that's all right, mate. I was, just obviously this coronavirus is affecting people and just changing the way we live our lives. And I do wonder if people are going a bit over the top.
Do you think
really?
so? Look, I hope I wasn't guilty of what's the word? Scaremongering. We did a show a couple of nights ago with a good friend called Matty, who I think shared some really good information and some good numbers, but some people might panic when they start hearing numbers, and Matty was kind of clear that he was just speculating and sharing what he thought the numbers might mean. What do you think? I don't want to scare people. I also want to be realistic. How do we find the middle way, as Buddha called it?
I think the way when you look at things, you can be scared by anything, right? You could cross the road tomorrow, and all of a sudden you could have a heart attack while crossing the road, or you could be sitting on a bus, and all of a sudden you might get stung by a jellyfish or something and die. Like, you never know.
Yeah,
what's
some buses maybe. You never know what's around the corner. Yeah.
Yeah. The fact is, you don't know. So I think there's some people who live, but have never died.
Yeah.
But there's some people who've died that have never lived.
That's right.
That's what I mean.
That's right.
Yeah. So really, it's like you. I think all this kind of isolation and stuff is really, I think if you're sick, of course, isolate yourself. But what are you planning on doing afterwards? This is what I don't understand. There are some people isolate themselves because they don't want to catch anything, and to me, that's just silly.
And what is the logic is isolate yourself if you've got it so that you don't pass it to someone else, right?
Well, that's it. That's the logic. But some people, I think, are doing it because I know a girl who's from Italy, who's decided to go back, this is absolutely serious, who decided to go back to Italy to self-isolate for 3 weeks to avoid coronavirus.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
And a very sweet girl.
Okay.
But in Farsi you say shirin for sweet.
Okay.
And she's decided for some reason to go back to Italy.
Yeah.
For 3 weeks and self-isolate, and then to come out as if there's going to be no coronavirus there.
Maybe people just want to go where they feel safe, and then sometimes they might not know any better.
Well, maybe,
it's like an emotional thing.
Maybe that is the case, but it's just kind of weird. Look, we have to live our lives.
Yeah.
And to me, yes, by all means, wash your hands thoroughly.
Yeah.
By all means, don't do handshakes.
Yeah.
Don't sort of lean over and breathe in someone's breath, and stuff. Be sensible, but live your life.
Yeah.
I run these little classes on Spanish basically, and usually we have like 10 or 15 people coming.
Right.
And this week,
how much did you get paid for that, Dave?
I just do that off my own back, mate. Just
what a guy! We've got a charitable guy on the line.
I think you've got to help where you can.
A lot of people are what I think, Dave, this is bringing out the best and the worst in people. I've seen racist incidents. A Chinese mate of mine from school said that someone had beaten his brother up because he's Chinese, but at the same time you've got people saying, if you're in need and you want me to drop things off for you, I'm going to do your shopping for you. People are doing voluntary service like you do yourself. You were doing that anyway, though, I think, before all this kicked off.
Well, I'm not one who likes to brag, It's like when I ran the New York Marathon twice.
Wow.
I was dating that
Marathon,
Some people,
26 miles.
to 26.2 miles,
Even
yeah,
more.
each. And there's some people who'd brag about that.
Yeah,
Like, oh, look
you're
at
not.
me, I ran marathons 2 times to raise
Wow.
that money for the less fortunate people.
Wow.
But the point is to do the deed or whatever, not to
Yeah.
brag about it. You know? It's like, I remember when I was at school and I raised, £400 for cancer, for a cancer charity.
Yeah.
Which I can't name the cancer charity, obviously, because of possible.
A lot of research went into it, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just some of us are just that way. We just want to help, but to be that the virus is serious.
Yeah, no, it is, and I don't want to joke about it, but we've got to get through this with a bit of humour, as well.
Well, exactly. Yeah, you always need a bit of tuna and a bit of humour, as they say in the sea. No, really, it is a serious thing, and yeah, obviously, everyone knows, and I've heard it a million times. The worry isn't for young fit people, athletes like us, if I could use that term.
Yeah.
Getting it. It's about those
people in their
people
30s.
People in their late.
Mid to late.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the older people getting it. And that's the thing. But there's also, what I've noticed in this, and I don't know if you covered this, there's certain, and I don't know if idiot is the right word. Yeah, no, it is. These people with these conspiracy theories who are convinced that Corona's just made up for the government to control us. And it's just,
which government?
What do you mean?
Well, because I've heard people say the Americans did it to attack China. Now that China is recovering quicker than other countries, people are saying, well, the Chinese have done it so that they can dominate the world economy. All other economies have taken a hit, and China is now already on the up. I mean, I know a lot of conspiracy theorists, to put it bluntly. People are always going to try and... I think this is, if it looks like a duck, it's a duck. This is something from nature, and people, opportunists in governments, might use it to further their agenda. I don't think it's a man-made. But my gut feel, I could well be wrong. What do you think?
I think it's ridiculous that one thing governments love is money. People love, and the damage this is doing on the economy is insane. In every way, shape, or form. A good friend of mine is an airline hostess who works for Virgin. Lost her job.
Oh no! Already over this.
Lost the job. Yeah, 2 months unpaid. Lost their job. 80% of Virgin's flights are to the States, and then another percentage is to South Africa. In South Africa, you can't fly to South Africa. It's not possible to go there. Or I was doing the accent.
That's very good. Yeah, that's a Indian accent.
Yeah, there's lots of Indians in South Africa, so that's why I chose that. But yeah, so that job's been lost. The amount of jobs that are going to be lost in the hospitality industry, the knock-on effects that are non-stop.
Yeah.
You yourself, Julian, I know you're an accomplished DJ, and there's real talk of the clubs being shut down as well. So it affects everyone in different. Yeah, I think it affects us all, but this to me, I think, is where you can see a unique window into what society is doing and how we should be really working at solutions as one. And that's the thing, we've taken a very fragmented approach. There are those people, like you said, who, your Vietnamese friend whose brother got beaten up. That you
Chinese. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Facebook earlier today. And I don't know if I tried to search his profile. Maybe he's taken the story down or something, or maybe there was swearing in the comments. I can't find out exactly what's gone on, but the long and short of it is his brother was beaten up for being Chinese because people have portrayed this as a Chinese disease. But as you point out, the virus knows no borders. It could affect anyone now.
Well, I think it was more because it was started by the Chinese, right? Because when you say if it looks like a duck, it's a duck. For them, if it looks like a snake or a dog, it's a duck. And I think is what some people seem to.
And look, even if it was the Chinese government that did it, it's not my mate's brother's fault.
No,
Is
and
it?
I don't believe the Chinese government would do that, just for the record.
Okay.
I definitely, I'm not implying any government involvement. I think it's just one of those things that it doesn't even matter how it happened. What's important is what we're doing to deal with it, how we look at it. I think you need a holistic solution. You need countries to work together. And this, I think, just highlights a much bigger problem, and the problem of when you've got materialism and a whole house of cards is on the verge of falling.
So look, one solution is, as you say, to work together and realise that the world is one country, etc. But equally, would policies such as open borders have actually made this worse? And if countries had closed themselves off and been a bit more isolated, like I think Russia did, which shares a huge border with China, they closed the border by isolating themselves, and we are asking people to isolate. Would that have actually saved more lives? And can we all isolate together, if that makes sense or is even possible?
I mean, definitely, I think the isolating is a great idea. And working together doesn't mean opening the borders per se, or anything. It means really we work in such a fragmented way. You know, we work in such a way. It's almost looking at Mr. President, Mr. Trump. His whole "Let's make America great again." On the one hand, you can look at that and say it's great that he wants to make his nation great, but let's look beyond nations. Let's make the world great in the first place, which it hasn't been. And let's really do that. I don't know how you can glory in the fact that your nation is great when
if it's at the expense of another nation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's these man-made borders that are just ridiculous.
Otherwise, he might as well have said, "Make Texas great," or make whatever a town in Texas or New York.
Yeah.
In the comments, Dave, I've got HK Stock says 330 billion loan from Bank of England, 1.4 trillion from the Fed, 345 billion euros France, into IMF loaning Iran 80 billion, and over 100 other countries all securing their own loans with interest from banks. I mean, I guess that's talking about countries looking after their own interests.
Well, it's the 330 billion, I think, was the UK government, and what they're offering companies, I believe small like businesses, and I think we need to inject that money in to keep these things afloat.
So we do have a magic money tree that the Conservatives mocked the Labour opposition for supposedly having.
I don't know about that, Julian. I'll be honest.
Well, it just seems to me they sound like they're throwing money at it, and when Labour suggested the same thing, they scoffed at the idea. But we can bail out the banks. We really should be bailing out the people.
Well, the banks have been given an open check. A friend of mine who's an analyst in one of the banks, he just said the banks have, I think today or yesterday, have basically been given a blank check saying we will bail you out. But this is the problem with the system we have. You need to bail out the banks. Like the airlines that are going to be bailed out, they have to be bailed out, because if they don't, the tourism industry suffers. How many people are you going to have unemployed? How many people are you going to have on benefits? The money is going to come out one way or another.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if these things collapse, it affects everything. So, but we've built our entire system, on this kind of pyramid that you pull one card out and the house collapses.
Yeah, that's right. This is all sort of showing how fragile it is, and it's a time for people like us to understand what people in other countries feel like that are at constant risk of death, be it from war or famine. People are saying the hunger virus kills more people every day than the coronavirus, and we have a vaccine for that. It's called food. But yeah, when it affects us, we obviously we're going to think about it more.
There's no us in combustion. Well, actually there is, but but
in the middle.
But that's besides the point. You need the us. When you're saying us, us should, and I think it's a very different way of looking at it. When you say us, should be the human race. That is the only us that's acceptable to really think about.
Yeah.
Because it's just really not, as you say. Where is it acceptable for Trump to talk about make Texas great again, this village great again, his family great again, men in the family great again, the children great? It's like, no, it's ridiculous. There should be one. I really feel like the world should be like one country, and the citizens, just being mankind, and it's like, okay, we're all together in this. And yes, you have your different languages, your different cultures and the rest, and you should preserve that. That's great. But really, how can I be happy when my brother in Finland is only left eating licorice? Or someone in
how far do you extend that then? If all mankind, you're including all the races, and what about the animal kingdom? What about nature? What about all these environmentalists who want to save the planet?
I think that's the thing. It's this holistic approach. When you look at the human body, do you look and just see, all right, cool, I just want to save my eyes, I just want to save my ears? No. Every part of the human body is essential. Your little toe, whatever it is, it all serves a purpose. And if your finger hurts, your whole body feels it, right? The pain, like you feel in pain. It doesn't matter what it is. And I think that's the approach we need, but it's a completely different thing. And had we have had that approach, so I don't want to take this away from coronavirus.
That's all right. We're going any direction you want.
That's obviously your topic, really.
Yeah.
But the only way we need, I think, a sea change in human consciousness. That really we need to. What is our media putting out there that's important to us? And by media, I'm not talking about the tabloids and the news, but it's. You look at music, you look at film, like you look at our celebrities, the celebrities that we worship. And I feel like the world has got it completely and utterly wrong.
Yeah, quite a few celebrities have contracted the coronavirus, and obviously we're hearing about that because that's a newsworthy story. But it's almost becoming like a cool thing to have. Am I reading too much into that? But they'll post it on their social media. Don't worry about me. I'm okay. I don't know.
Julian, you know this. That there's that old saying that says something that I don't remember what it is. But there's another saying on top that says all press is good press.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Of course,
and
I don't doubt this for a second. I think a good percentage of these celebrities that have got it, they don't even have it. If I was a manager of a celebrity in today's world, I would say, yep, cool, you're not relevant. Why don't you say you've got coronavirus? Boom, front page, so-and-so. That Idris Elba's wife apparently has it, or something like that. He's on the front page, all of a sudden he's become relevant in the restaurant. It's a brilliant
that's a good point.
Marketing tool.
Also, I don't usually watch much TV, but I didn't go to the gym today as I was too scared, and I was watching the One Show, and the presenter was presenting it via Skype from his home. I wonder, is that conveniently a way to stay relevant? It makes it more interesting, doesn't it?
There's no doubt. If you look at how many confirmed cases there are, right, in the UK today, there was 1950 when I looked earlier on. 1950 cases. And then how many celebrities have it? What are the chances of the people that are catching it being the celebrities?
Yeah. It does seem a bit much, doesn't it?
Like, mathematically, it just doesn't make sense. But look, we know, a friend of mine, well, I say friend, an acquaintance of mine at university, was on the front page of the Daily Mail. This is a few years back.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the front page, sorry, but in the Daily Mail, for his secret love affair with Jodie Marsh. And I don't know if you know who Jodie Marsh is, but if you know Katie Price, aka Jordan, she was like, they were arch rivals, Jodie Marsh. And there was this picture of these guys sort of kissing on the beach, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what? Like, man, you got caught. And he's like, no, don't be silly. He goes, oh, no, my manager knows her manager. The whole thing was set up.
Clever.
They rang the mail and they're like, would you like exclusive photos of this? They come down, the whole thing's set up. It's all complete nonsense. Boom, they're both in the papers.
Yeah.
So staying relevant, and unfortunately, because a lot of people do this, it forces the other celebrities to have to do that. So these people coming out with coronavirus. Did Justin Trudeau's wife really have coronavirus? Even that, not that he it's true. Maybe he's trying to set an example. Oh, I'm going to self-isolate. See, I'm going to lead by example. Let's make up my wife has this. The maths doesn't make sense for these famous people to be getting.
It's one hell of a coincidence.
I mean, exactly.
In the chat, Matty B is saying, who was on the show the other night, sharing some good statistics. He is saying, in all capitals, I have coronavirus, give me a TV show. And he's also shouting you out, Dave. So yeah, everyone's trying to cash in on it. We did have another caller. If the other caller wants to try again, I will merge the calls and you'll chat to Dave and myself. If you've got time, Dave, if you need to take off, by all means do. But I appreciate you phoning
I'm
in.
good for now, and I'm always sorry. I don't call in. I'm always fascinated by your show. I think it's very good that you give people the chance to share their views, and even if you think they're a load of I mean, you had Matty B on your show, saying, I'm sure was very fascinating. But look, we need to look at, again, for me, bigger than the coronavirus thing, is how do we adapt our mindsets? Really adapt our mindsets to realise that if our brother or our sister in another part of the world, whether it's next door to you or on the other side of the planet, is suffering, we are suffering too. And I think only being anxiously concerned by the needs of the world do we really build things forward and move them forward. And we get lost in these identities of, our culture or our people, religion, whatever it is, and be like, I'm a this, I'm a that. No, you're a human. Let's start with you're a human, you're a creation, you're something of the planet. That's where it starts, that's where it stops, really, in terms of making sure we're at a certain point.
That's right. I don't know if you saw what Jurgen Klopp said, I think today when he was asked about it, because this debacle might cost Liverpool the title. The Premier League might be cancelled, and Liverpool, who are streets ahead and just 2 wins from mathematically winning the Premier League, might not be able to win. It might be cancelled. And he said, look, if it saves one life, it's been worth it. And I thought, that's he's a class act, Jurgen Klopp, and that's an example of having to put things aside. Some things are bigger than football, some things are bigger than what country you're from or what race you are, or what gender you are.
Yeah, no, indeed. I mean, the response of people seems pretty good in terms of even self-isolating and stuff. But this is the thing, this whole coronavirus thing. If you self-isolate, you put it on Facebook, you look good. So some people are driven by the whole fact that I look good if I do this, that, or the other. But we need to get really that inner course. It's dependent, like, to let deeds be your, thing that you're driven by is the way you act, not what you say. And I think that's what we need to try and change in this world. And I think that the change comes within, But you need to have change. You've got to understand why you need change. As a homeless man once told me.
Wow. When were you talking to him?
Around Christmas time with a friend of mine, we go around, we sort of give out biscuits and toothpaste and all the essentials. We try and find one and donate the goods.
You're a giving guy. Look, Dave, from one DJ to another, I happen to know that you're also a DJ, a fellow DJ. Just to keep it lighthearted, would you like to play a little game with me?
I was on Single Fix It, and I agreed to that, which didn't end well. But no, we can try it.
All right, no games.
Why not?
All right, we're going to play one game.
Go on.
I'm going to play a little snippet of a song, hopefully not too long to get a copyright strike. Are you going to tell me the name, the track, and the artist, if you can hear it? And if anyone in the chat can hear it, they can beat you to it in the comments. Are you ready, Dave?
As long as you're not going to play a song by Corona, yes.
No, well, do you know what I found? What's it called? Give me what's the name of that song?
That song?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't know, mate, I can't be.
Because I saw it the other night, and it's called. I could search it now. I'm not going to. It'll ruin what I'm going to do. But yeah, there was an artist in the 90s called Corona. If you know which song Corona were a hit with in the 90s, put it in the comments. I think would you describe them as a one-hit wonder?
No, they had a couple of hits actually.
A couple of hit wonder.
Yeah. They were more than a one-hit wonder.
A two-hit something.
A multi. Yeah, but they're sort of
a two-hit teaser.
One. Yeah, one. But the one they're known for is "This Is the Melody of Evening."
Is it that one? Was that them as well?
That was their biggest song. Was this
is the melody of the evening.
The evening.
Oh yeah. The melody of the evening.
Another one of theirs was toddler, toddler.
And Matty B has got the correct answer. Well, he's had an attempt at it in the comments, but you were close, Matty. But the answer was the melody of the evening. But good try.
Right.
Yeah, he's giving it a go.
Matty B isn't wrong. The Rhythm of the Night was another one of their songs. But
oh, there you go. The melody of the evening is it's my favourite. Right, let's hear this one. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? As someone once said. I hope you and everyone else is going to hear it, and I hope we don't get a copyright. Did you hear that, Dave?
Was that Jason Donovan? James Donovan?
No. Oh well, no. But it's funny you say that because
he had a song by the same name, or Sweetbox.
Well, yes, yeah, you got it. That was Sweetbox. Well done.
Okay.
That was everything. That was Sweetbox. Everything's gonna be all right. The one you were thinking of was.
Everything is gonna be alright.
There we are.
And there's James Daman. One more time.
Everything is gonna be alright.
And Matty B Matty B is in the comments giving us the right answer. Well done, Matty B.
Very
You got
good.
it. Sweetbox. I hope no one's cheating with Spotify or anything else.
Nightmare.
Yeah. All right, fingers on buzzers. I'm watching the chat, and I've got Dave on the line. Let's see who gets there first. Who sang this? And what's the name of the song?
It's Duran, relax.
You got the name right.
It's Frankie Goes to New York.
You're very close. Yes, Frankie Goes to New York. Frankie Goes to the west coast of America somewhere. Is that in LA? I don't know. But yes, you got it. And Matty B is a close second in there. Well done.
Yep, again.
Well done. Okay.
Yep.
Half points each. Right, what about this one? Next song. Okay, yeah, Matty, we'll give that one to Matty B. Next song, I need the artist and the name of the track.
Don't you worry now.
So what are you getting? Can give it to you again.
Don't you worry now.
I mean, it sounds like Avicii. Is it Avicii?
I know why you say that. It's not Avicii. It's someone featuring someone. I'll give you a clue. And you might have seen them around 2003.
Don't you worry now.
This is Avicii's, but it's the original, I imagine.
Matty B he's got it. Swedish House Mafia. Don't you worry.
Yes.
Yeah, he got that right. He beat you to the punch there. Let's see. We got one. Okay, here's another one. Which of these have we done? All right. Last one. I think this is Dave to draw it level, or Matty to Dave to take it to a tiebreaker if you get it. Here we go. Fingers on buzzers.
Uptown, everything is alright, out of sight.
By whom? Who?
Stevie Wonder.
Yes, Dave takes it. It's a draw, that means we need a tiebreaker, but I can't think of another. Did we do? No, wait. Did we do this one? All right, this is the tiebreaker. It's 2-2. Yeah, I think. Don't you worry, by your mum, Matty B says. Well, yes. My mum is very positive. Right, it's 2-2. Dave versus Matty B. Dave on the line. Matty B in the comments. And this is to take the gold. Who sang this?
Don't worry,
Bobby McFerrin.
be happy.
He's got it! And Dave is the winner! And new heavyweight. Oh, he's playing it back down the phone. You are the DJ King. Well done. Well done.
Thank you very much.
And I just wanted to inject a bit of positivity because people thought I might have been scaremongering the other night. I don't want to scaremonger. There's a fine line between being realistic and being what's the word? Pessimistic. And I'm not an expert.
I've got one for you and Matty Barron.
Oh, here we go. We've got you're coming back at us. You've got one. Yes. Punjabi MC.
What's the name of the song?
The name of the song is. I'll tell you the name of the song. Mundian to Bachki. Good.
And the winner is Matty B. It is called Dun 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 Dun.
Go dun dun dun. Yeah, he's right. He got it right. He got it right. Wow.
Matty B gets that, yeah. Very
Wow.
good. Listen, Julian, I hope you avoid coronavirus.
Yeah. Thank you.
I do think we are pretty much not all going to get it, but a large percentage. And the way I look at it, it's a matter of time before I get it. I will do all I can to try and avoid it, of course. Yeah. I think it's definitely something to try and avoid, but you've got to navigate it as it comes, you know. Yeah. And I think really the thing we can do is follow the guidance, follow the instructions, and if you do things, self-isolate, don't turn up to things, and just hold in there. I think I don't know if there's much more to say on that. What's disappointing is seeing the panic buying that we're seeing around. That are really
it's not good.
That's upsetting for people to say the least.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Dave, I really appreciate you giving me a call. It helps the show. It's given people food for thought. And Matty B is mentioning just don't take ibuprofen if you have it. Yeah, that's the latest advice on terms of combating the symptoms. Don't use ibuprofen as it can have a negative effect, apparently.
Well, I hear this.
Yeah. As you say, listen to the experts. The advice may change day to day. But we just have to go on the best advice.
Matty has the 20 packets of loo roll that I asked him for, and it's true, because every time Matty comes to my house, he leaves a trail behind him. So I've asked him to come with 20 packets of loo roll to keep my house tidy. So I do appreciate that, Matty. To anyone who works for Virgin, who might be listening, they've been grounded and they've lost their jobs. And I just want them to know they need to stay positive, because things may change. And if you keep a positive mind, who knows what could happen.
Oh, wow. Perfect. That is R. Kelly, I Believe I Can Fly.
Well, no, I was saying, don't molest people.
Oh, yeah, we don't,
That was the point I was making.
That's different points to be made.
There we are, indeed. Right. Anyway, listen, thank you very much for this chat. Thank you very much, Matty B, for your encouragement from the sideline.
Well played.
And I'm going to be shooting, as is Matty B.
Yeah. As am I. We will do it all again soon. Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
Stay safe out there. Thank you, and good night. Bye-bye. Thank you. Wow, that was Dave. Much appreciated getting involved, and stay positive, guys. Stay positive. Here's the last song I'm going to leave you with. Hopefully we don't get a copyright strike for it. You know what? If the world's going to end, it doesn't really matter if we do. Don't worry, the world is not going to end yet. Some people say it already has ended. This is not... It's not the beginning of the end, but it may be the end of the beginning. And 1 minute, I've got another caller. Caller on the other line. I'm still live. If you want to go live, you can. Who's this? Hello? Hello?
I was just listening to what you were saying about the coronavirus.
Okay. And what's your take on it, sir? Who's this?
Sorry, this is Brendan here.
Hello, Brendan. You're welcome.
I personally do. I know they were saying they weren't, but I do personally think that the whole thing is a bit of a scam, really. When you look at how many people have died from like the flu and that, and the response, I think they're just powermongering, they're scaremongering the society. If you know what I mean.
Scaremongering the society. You're not, but you're scaremongering yourself by saying that people are doing that. No.
Well, I'm a realist.
You're saying that we live among scaremongers.
Yeah, but I'm just being a realist. You know, I think everyone just needs to chill out, right? You look at the flu, all right? How many people has the flu killed? The flu's killed many more people. Why are we suddenly going crazy about the coronavirus? Do you know what I mean? It's like it just seems a bit suspect to me why we're picking this.
You're right. But if you get this, it is much more lethal than the flu. The flu kills more people because far more people get the flu, and then the weakest succumb to it. But this is a much more lethal strain. I think we have to be both realistic and optimistic and not spread panic. You're right, the flu does kill more people. Hunger kills more people. People are needlessly starving, and we are not up in arms about it. Because this might kill rich people, I think that's why it's plastered all over the place. But it will be the weakest and most vulnerable who suffer the most. So you're right in a way, but we shouldn't dismiss it completely. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, well, I guess when you put it like that...
Well, I'm going to merge your call with another call, because I've got another call on the other line.
Go for it.
And if you want to have a chat... Who's this on the other line?
It's Mac.
Hello, Matt. Okay, Mac, you through to... Is it Brendan? Brendan, okay. Not Braden from Speaker's Corner, then.
Oh, okay. Hi there. You're right.
Hello, yeah, you're through, Mac. And one of you turn your music down.
Not to be alarmist, sorry, guys, but... there's other reports about, I don't know, I'm looking all over the world. Like, I don't know if you lot know about locusts that have taken Africa and some of the crops in Africa as well. You don't know about that?
Locusts have taken the crops in Africa?
Yeah, like, right now they're basically fighting against swarms of locusts savaging on all the crops and all everything. Like, it's just unseen before. Like,
it does sound like something out of the Bible. I mean, locusts is always what we heard about when there were plagues in the Bible.
Famines, pestilence, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, but not to be alarmist, it's just, you know what, just have faith in God and obviously just go about the business and just listen to the experts. But again, for me, I just personally think every individual should just look at, this is the chance to change any bad habits, routines, whatever.
Yeah.
This is a chance to do it, especially with eating and nutrients. I mean, people need to realize, there is no antidote, but you can do things to help to boost your immune system. Things like these are very important, and that's my only advice is just basically, I know not to panic, but at the same time be very smart about things and be open-minded. At the end of the day, you never know what's around the corner.
Brendan, are you a man of faith?
Well, here's what I was going to say. No, personally, I don't mean it disrespectfully. Like, I think each person to their own. But what do you?
Fair enough.
And I'm not trying to.
No, but you get hit by a car.
I'm not trying to be an argumentative. But what do you mean by have faith in? You know, on the one hand, you're like, all these locusts are coming, this coronavirus is out there. Then you're like, have faith in God. Well, isn't this the same God that's allowed this to happen? That's why I'm not trying to disrespect you or your
No,
beliefs.
I've
probably
got answer for that. It's fine. It's an open debate. This is what debate is. You have your point, and then, but what it is, the way I'm saying it is, in history, as we've seen it, as it's told in whether it's religious books or not, God, I mean, you can use Sodom and Gomorrah as an example. If not that, you can use the Egyptian, Moses brought down the famine, the hells, the locusts, and if not that, do you see what I'm saying? There is an occurring event, like, and if it's been prophesied, you can't just ignore things when it's coming to fruition, like when things are happening and you're thinking, wait a minute. But again, not to be alarmist, I'm just saying having the faith of God, obviously God is doing things as He's promised to. This is my point. Now, whether you have faith or not, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you see it this way. If there's a fish, how is that fish come to existence? We didn't make it. It's like the egg. So the fish, like, at the end of the day, well, I don't believe humans created fish, because that's impossible. So how did the trees come about? I mean, there has to be a creator to all of this, no? I mean,
revolution, mate. You've heard of revolution?
No, it's evolution, not revolution. I evolve, but I don't revolve.
There's a
Goldilocks. The other way around.
I mean, it can't be a coincidence that we're in the Goldilocks zone and everything's just perfect. That for the Earth to be, I mean, is this a random million galaxies, and we happen to just randomly pop up and evolve from a microorganism into a fish, then from a fish to a mammal moving on land, and then.
Well, let me ask you a question, right?
Let me ask you this.
How many planets?
All right, guys, one at a time. Wait.
Why do monkeys still exist?
Mac, let Brendan ask a question. He's a new guest. We have to welcome him.
Sorry, but I'm not. I ain't trying to put you down. If you're Jewish or whatever religion you are, that's fine. Like to me, it's fine. Whatever, you're a respectful guy. And
I'm a Liverpool. My religion is Liverpool, by the way.
You're about to. Oh dear.
Okay, right. Well, that's. I think you need faith in God there if your religion's Liverpool. But I was going to say, I'll ask you this: how many planets are there? How many galaxies? How many stars are there? You say that. That there's this chance, but how many billions of stars and galaxies and planets are there?
Yeah.
Sure.
Literally hundreds.
I was telling. I mean, there are these theories of obviously, if there are that many, why haven't we encountered any other form of intelligence or life being or form? Do you see what I mean? I mean, not even radio. Apparently, once you broadcast it can vibrate through space and time, and like 30 light years away.
I mean, video put a stop to that, though, didn't it?
No, but I'm just saying that's an example.
Well, yeah.
So if you're actually broadcasting these sort of frequencies, we should be able to pick up other frequencies. But again, we're looking at it, and now people are thinking UFO. Now, my interpretation of UFO could be interdimensional. It doesn't necessarily mean they're from a different planet. But again, we're like a fish. When you take a fish out of the water, it has no idea that you just pull that out into our own world, like into our. We're like that fish. We're out in our tank, and that tank is Earth.
Yeah.
But whether there is a higher existence, like the fish will never know we're out there.
Well, if you took a baby out of the womb, it would be a very strange environment for a while, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it's like when we leave this mortal coil and go somewhere else. We're in a different reality. I don't know.
It's the fact that we haven't communicated with other life forms and that. Honestly, and I don't mean this disrespectful if there's any human. Well, there probably are. We're all humans technically, but I think we're quite. I don't know if I can use the word crap, so I don't want to swear.
That's all right.
But I think we're quite a useless planet. I think we're so backwards. I think we're so at the bottom. Look at it. We're still killing each other, mate. We are still creating weapons.
It's a Game of Thrones situation, yeah. That's what
I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but I think we're just too backwards for people to want to communicate with us. I think we're arrogant to think that other planets would want to.
You think there's other life forms out there that are more advanced than us, and they don't, or they look? I mean, they probably look at us as some form of amoeba or bacteria.
Well, I mean, look, do ants turn around and go, "Oh, well, we haven't, why haven't the ant gods visited us?" Well, there are humans around them. They probably don't really recognise that we're humans because they don't understand what we're saying because we're so much more advanced. And I just think that's what it is. There are other planets, there are other life forms, but they're just way more advanced. Look at the way we treat each other, the way we talk bad about each other. Like we're disgusting as a human race. There's good quality things as well, but we're so backwards.
Yeah. Safe Clark in the chat is saying we were created as the ultimate organic weapon. And Triple T is saying hello. Yeah, maybe we were created as a weapon. Some people say that we are technically a... What's the word for a thing that consumes other things?
We're the virus of
virus or a parasite. Yeah, are we parasitic? I hope not. I think we have the potential not to be. But as Brendan is saying, we seem to resort to that too often. Maybe we're going to learn this time round. Maybe the coronavirus
apparently just
going to teach us.
Put out there. Sorry to interrupt. Apparently, the pollution of China's improved. Now they've got this lockdown. I don't know if you know about the CO2 levels in China have reduced like dramatically in the last. Yeah, I mean, it's for global warming. In some ways, these lockdown situations can also benefit in that term as well. So
yeah, there'll always be some positive. I mean, if there's no one on the street, no one's going to drop litter.
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, but I mean, China being the biggest, largest nation, if they would be commuting every day with different forms of, obviously, vehicles, but it's adding to the O2, isn't it?
Yeah, the O2.
But yeah, so I'm just waiting for. The thing is, I'm surprised as UK where we're still behind. It's like we're taking a nonchalance approach. But I don't know. As your what's your sorry? I forgot your name, buddy. What was your name?
Brendan.
Do you think it's all it's just a malarkey? It's just all made up.
So what, the coronavirus?
Yeah, it's just like.
No, I think the coronavirus is obviously it's a real thing, but I think the way they're playing on it is just they've just picked it out of the air and they're like, let's run with this one and make a thing out of this. I think obviously coronavirus is a flu. All flus are coronavirus, from what I understand. But I think this one they're just sort of taking and they're sort of hyping this one up and trying to control us that way.
It is more lethal, Brendan. It is more lethal.
That is one perception. I can say, you that is one way of saying it. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we won't know the truth, but Julian, like you say, China are the leading now. They feel that they're leading the market because of you see what I mean. So it could all be political game or who knows, but. This is the thing. This is why I never trusted. I'm Persian, as I don't know if people know. I never trusted the government of Iran, and they're always lying and always covering shit up. But
unlike all the other governments.
Well, the thing is, Julian Assange. I just realized he was just exposing the like. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have known Operation Ajax. You see what I mean? Yeah. Then again, it is classified from CIA themselves. They disclassified it anyway. But then again, this is what I'm saying. Julian Assange. I mean, it's great that you do the. I mean, I wish there was another Julian Assange because that way we would obviously get to the bottom of what's really going on with the Corona situation, because he would be digging into real files and real places that we should be, like, you see what I mean?
Yeah, well, in the chat, Safeguard is saying the numbers are all wrong, hence the high percent of death count. 50,000 cases with the most without symptoms, never reported or counted. Yeah, look, I do reiterate that for most people this will be just a severe bout of flu and nothing more than that. We just have to look out for the vulnerable.
Yeah, it's basically the underlining. Well, as I say, if your immune system can fight it off, it will fight it off. But if not, then that's where you get underlining bacteria, and then that's when it's.
What I'd like to do, Mac, I think it was you that suggested it, and Brendan, if you've got any ideas, feel free to bring them forward tonight or another night about diet and nutrition in terms of boosting your immune system. How can we take whatever precautions we can?
I have some idea I can give, but obviously a doctor would be. But I know vitamin C would help, and D would help boost your immune systems. Apparently, spinach is good to have if you can have fresh garlic because it's got acetylene and orsolin, and that's an antibacterial agent kind of thing. Honey is really good. Lemon, again, that's antibacterial as well. Very good. So all of these things will help fight the infection and also.
Turmeric is another one. Brendan, any supplements you go for?
No, to be honest, I think our friend, I forgot what his name is.
You were through to Mac.
Mac, he said he was Persian, and I've got loads of Arab friends, and so I understand his culture.
Different thing, Brendan.
We're not the same.
Different thing. Yeah, they're not the same.
It's like German.
Different ball game.
You can't just because Germans have the same characters as the English. It's not the same thing. You see what I mean? Arabs and Persians
I'm saying
are
but you're Arab, obviously. So I'm saying the food.
Mac, I'm sorry. This listener probably. Are you a first time listener, Brendan? We've been through this before. The Iranians or the Persians are not Arabs. They do not speak Arabic. They have a different language, Persian or Farsi. Mac can tell you all about it another night, but he is not an Arab.
I don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
It's all right. It's fine. But go make the point that you're making. It's fine. It's not.
I was saying, so as an Arab, you'll understand, because you guys eat all the onions.
I'm sorry, man.
I think.
No, we as a Persian, we do have a lot of onion and garlic in our dishes. But this is what I'm saying. We don't have no spicy, as in hot spice, but we have other spices. But we have one of the. I don't know if you heard of it. The red one. What's it called again? I forgot.
The red one, saffron.
Saffron.
Chicken tikka.
No.
Chicken tikka.
No, bro. Saffron.
Yeah, saffron. It's the most expensive substance, I think. The most expensive food, anyway. Pound for pound.
The most and plus the Persian caviar is the most expensive caviar too. Persian rugs are different.
Pound for pound, a ton of saffron is heavier than a ton of feathers, I think. Or is it bricks? I can't remember.
We Persians go as far as back as the Greeks, because at the time of the Greeks, there were no Arabs, but there were Persians. You see what I mean?
Yeah, 300. I saw that film.
Yeah. Propaganda film.
That's when they attacked the Arabs, didn't they?
Superb. Oh dear.
That's it. I like it.
Anyway, but I think again, not disrespectful way or whatever. I think you Arabs the shawarmas you eat and stuff like that. You do the shawarma kebabs.
I'm not an Arab, but I do love shawarma. I'm not gonna lie, I do love. I mean, you must have had a couple of shawarmas yourself.
Well, that's
someone showed you a picture. Yeah, I'm big glad. I've had the odd shawarma. That's true.
Yeah.
No, but I like all that food. All that stuff you do, the curries and that.
That's actually Lebanese. That's more Lebanese. Shawarmas are more Lebanese foodish than it is Persian. Persian dishes. If you go to a Persian restaurant, you'll see we do kebab skewers and chicken skewers, and we actually with rice and then you mix it in with the tomato, burnt tomato. We
Yeah.
again skewered the tomato. So we did it a bit differently, but
Something for everyone.
It's something new. It's a new
So
taste for your palate.
It's usually
I
meat,
mean,
rice, and a burnt black tomato in my experience, but it's all very good.
No, you take off the skin. You have to
Yeah.
take off the skin, and then you mash up the tomato in your rice, and then it's just you have the skewer kebab and the skewer chicken and whatever. And we have stews as well, but we again, it's different. Like you got to go to a Persian restaurant in order
Well,
to try
Matt,
that.
you need to invite us.
I'm going to stop you there, buddy, because everything you're saying is making me so hungry now. You made me want to be an Arab. I ain't going to lie. I'm going to sign up.
Oh
And
God!
I want to be an Arab.
Brendan, you've got an Irish name. Happy St. Patrick's Day if you are indeed of an Irish background.
Yeah, by the way, all viewers, happy
Yes.
Paddy's Day.
Yeah. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all.
My granddad on my mum's side was Irish.
Okay. Well, is he still around?
No, mate.
Okay,
He's
well,
brown
may you
bread.
rest in peace with St. Patrick, and I hope your extended family had a blessed St. Patrick's Day. Safe Clark saying Wales. St. Patrick was apparently born in Wales, but he went and brought Christianity to Ireland. What a good idea that was.
Well, some people say it was a bad idea
Well,
with the Catholic, the Protestant
Yeah,
argument.
he should have made that clear, that you don't split into different sects. Look, gentlemen, it's been a great chat. Has anyone got anything to add before I wrap up the show?
No, thank you for both your time.
Yeah, thank you, Matt.
Yeah. Thank you,
you,
guys.
thank you.
We learned a bit of culture
Matt,
tonight.
Thank you very much. That's it.
Take care, buddy.
Take care. Thank you.
Okay,
Good
guys.
night, Mac. Good night, Brendan.
Good night.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good night, gentlemen. And Triple T is saying St. Patrick's Day is cancelled due to Corona. That's not true. It's just been, downgraded, downplayed. But it's been a relaxed one. And I think we needed that. We had a little bit of light-hearted song guessing. We injected a little bit of positivity. These are hard times, guys. There's no doubt about that one. So we're going to have to stick together and look after each other. And any little tips we've got about a diet or nutrition or whatever it is. And if you do have vulnerable neighbours, obviously check in on them. But keep your distance. And we have to do this not to keep ourselves safe, but to keep. You're not keeping yourself safe. You're keeping your neighbours safe. Think about it that way. You're keeping your elderly relative safe, or whoever it is. So this is the last song of the night. I'll let you guess what it is. I'm sure you know already. This has been Lessons for Life. We'll do it all again soon, in a different time, in a different place. Thank you to my contributors tonight. We were here, and we are gone. Latest.